Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Semua sihat? Sihat semua? Ada apa-apa?
Sehat, sir.
Siapa yang tak sihat?
Sehat.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, before we start our class today, I want to make an announcement. I want to give the homework. The first homework. The group homework. First group homework. I will give you the question number. Mana dia tadi? Tak ada pula lah. Okay, this is a first homework. First question, I will write it. First question is the question number in 1.3. Okay, so go to 1.3. That will be our first question. The question number 38. Okay, now I will write it down. Okay, question number 38, 1.3. So, 1.3, question number 38. So this is the group assignment number 1. Okay, so assignment 1, question number 1 will be 1.3, question number 38. Now, that 38 is the question in as per 11th edition. So this one is in the 11th edition. Right, so if you have another edition, earlier edition, maybe, okay, the question is a different number. So make sure that the question is the one that comes through 10, 2, and 8, 7. Okay, so make sure you got that question, this one. So if you have a different edition, probably a different number. So I want you to do that question, okay? That question, this one, maybe a different number. That is not important. Important thing is that same question as question number 38, okay? Now, question number 2, look at 1.6. That will be question number, saya lupa dah, tadi ada tulis ni, tapi mana pergi ke tal? Okay, 1.6. That would be number on question on the break even. Okay, number on the break even, question number 26. So that question, if you have a different edition, that will be on the college sweatshirts. Okay, logo, college logo sweatshirts. So make sure, you know, that question is on this problem, the sweatshirt. So there are 2 questions. All right, I want you to do this. The deadline okay? Deadline is by Saturday 5 p.m. Today is Friday. Today is Wednesday. It's okay, Saturday by 5 p.m. I didn't remember what time did I say for the other class, because I lost that paper. But so okay lah, Saturday 5 p.m. You submit classroom. Okay, you submit to the classroom. And then this is group. All right, now one group, only one answer. Okay, one copy, just send to me by the group. So if you have 2 people in the group, you write the names, okay, all of your members, okay, names and metric number. Section number also lah, okay, section number. Section number. And then I want one person to prepare. Okay, 1% prepare. So you just write down there, prepared by whom? Okay, prepared by, you write down the name. 1%. Because you know when you do online, sometimes difficult to do, you know, to write together. And then what you need to do here is, I want you to do this, okay, to share the write-up alternatively. So you alternate, okay? So you write alternately. If this homework you write, the next homework your friend will have to write. So that's why I want you to write who prepared, okay? If this is prepared by you for assignment 1, that means assignment 2, your partner will have to prepare to write. But you discuss lah, okay? There is no limit for discussion. You discuss, but please just 1% write the answers, okay? And then for the next one, the other person will write. And only send me one group, one answer, okay? Don't send, if you belong to one group, then both of you, every person send. Then that shouldn't be the case, okay? Only one, this assignment is by group. So that's why I need you to write your names per group and your metric number, section number. Okay, any question on that one?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
All right, good. So that would be the homework number 1. I already have the link for the classroom. Okay, I put on iTalim. So the classroom is, of course, by the section. And that's why I need the group, you know, by the section. So that's the announcement. All right, another thing is, by now, okay, by now, I hope everybody already in the WhatsApp group. Because if you observe the last class, I didn't put the link. Okay, I didn't put the link in the iTalim. I just upload the link into WhatsApp. So make sure everyone is in the group of WhatsApp. Okay, all right. So today we are going to continue with the second application, the chapter number 1. This is on market equilibrium. All right, market equilibrium meaning that the interaction. Okay, market equilibrium is you are looking at the interaction of the consumers and the firms. And when they interact through the demand and supply, that will determine the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity. So here we are looking at an economic application. So we're looking at a market of good. A market of good. For example, the one that we're looking at, you know, when you discuss the break-even, mineral water. Okay, that will be a market of mineral water, just one good. And then you have the interaction between the consumers, or we call it buyers. There are a few names, you know, consumers, buyers, or demanders. So they demand, okay? They demand the good. And then you have the other side, the firms, or you call it the sellers, or the suppliers, they supply the good. Okay, so the demand and supply will interact. That will give you the market equilibrium. So here the demand is a function that relate the quantity. If you look at the book, the quantity called Q, okay, relate quantity to the price, or the relationship between the quantity and the price. So we just may call it the relationship between quantity and the price. So we can write, okay, we can write the following. Q as a function of the price. The Q a function of the price, where P is the price, Q is the quantity. Or, correct, or you can flip it up. You can write P as a function of Q. Okay, so when you write demand function, either you do it Q as a function of P, or you can do it Q function of Q. P function of Q. So if you have Q in terms of P, you can always adjust it, right? Q in terms of, P in terms of Q, or the other way around. Okay, so the thing is, it's the relationship between the quantity and the price. Okay, now we have the law of demand. Now, what is the law of demand? The law of demand, based on the relationship between the quantity and the price, we have the following. As the price increases, as the price P increases, the quantity, okay, the quantity demanded, okay, the quantity demanded, Q, will decrease. So that is the law of demand. That is the principle, okay, the principle of demand. We call it in economics, the law of demand. It's inverse relation, okay, inverse relation. If the price goes up, the quantity demanded will go down. Or if you put the other way around, if the price goes down, what about the demand?
Is it increased?
Will increase, go up. Okay, it's inverse relation. So that is the law of demand. Now, when you have, as the price increases, the quantity demanded will decrease. Then here, the relationship of the price and Q is according to the functional form, Q function of P. Because from here, you know that the P will increase and then Q will decrease. So the independent variable is the price, the dependent variable is Q, okay? Because the one that changed first is the price, not the Q. So you have Q function of P. But of course, sometimes we can call it, we can also describe demand. The higher the quantity, the price you are willing to pay will decrease. So we can also say that. If you say that, then it's according to that relationship. Okay. So that is the demand function. Now, similarly for the supply function. Okay. Let us be more, look at into more detail. So the demand function here is Q equal to MP plus K. So if you have the relationship Q as a function of P, then you have MP plus K. Now, M and K, of course, is a constant. Now, the slope for the demand function is negative. And the constant is bigger than 0. All right. And then from here, okay, from there, you can always write P as a function of Q, and that will be equal to, let's say, equal to A Q plus B. All right. Again, here A is less than 0, B is bigger than 0. So you can do it either way, all right? You have P as a function of Q or Q function of P. But when I write this one, this form, because I follow the pattern of the movement, you know, from the law of demand. When the price goes up, quantity go down. So if we say that, that means this would be the relationship. Okay, all right. Now let's look at supply. Now supply we denote by S. It's also giving you the relationship between the two variables. So you have Q as a function of P. I use F, you know, because I already used H, and then H here, and then so we again use the P. Okay, Q a function of P. All right, and you have here the law of supply. That means how they relate. So here you have as the price increases, the quantity supplied. What? The quantity supplied Q will also increase. So here you have a direct relationship. Okay, direct relationship. The price increases, quantity supply increase. The higher the price, we are willing to sell or we are willing to supply more, all right? And put another way, if the price decreases, then what about the quantity? The quantity will go down. Okay, so they move the same direction. So again, here you have a linear function. So we can denote Q as equal to HP plus C. Okay, now the slope is positive. And that C here is a constant. So that C doesn't matter really. You know, that C can be bigger than 0, can be less than 0. So that C is just a constant, right? C just constant. So that's C. Okay, and then given that one, we can rewrite P as a function of Q. Then you may have, say, dP plus E. Okay, again here, the D is bigger than 0. The slope is bigger than 0. Positive. So supply is positively sloped. Demand is negatively sloped. So when the supply and the demand, the firms and the consumers, the buyers and the sellers interact, it will determine the market equilibrium. Okay, the market will determine the price and the quantity that is going to be exchanged. So you have the market, right? Let me just draw the graph. So here you have the price, okay? And then here you got that Q, and you have the equilibrium, the demand here. And then you may have the supply. Okay, the supply can be here, you know, and supply can also be here, right? Can be negative there, but we just get one. The most important thing is that slope. So you have the supply interaction. So this is the market of a good, okay? Market of a good. Example, the mineral water. So you have the equilibrium here. That's the market equilibrium. You get PE, and then you have QE. We call the equilibrium E. And that equilibrium is determined by what? When the demand equals supply. So that is the condition for equilibrium. And at that point E, you have the equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity, QE. And then, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Saya ingat kan, saya terputus ke semua jadi diam ni. equilibrium price, PE. Okay, or we call it market quantity. Sometimes you call it a market quantity. And this is the market price because it is determined by the market. Okay, so the demand equals supply will determine the equilibrium. But we can also put the graph, okay, the demand and supply, P price of Q. So if you look at the book, okay, if you look at the book, same thing. You have the book, you look at the book, the price is vertical axis, Q is here. So you look at the book, you will see that diagram. So same thing, all right? You will have demand equal to supply, and then you have the equilibrium price, you have the equilibrium quantity. Okay, so here I want you to go to the book and see that diagram. Okay, all right. So same thing, okay? So if you look at 1.6, you look at the book, they give you the price in terms of Q, where you have the market equilibrium, where the demand equal to the supply, you have the equilibrium price, you have the equilibrium quantity. So just check, okay, read that part on 1.6. But I just look at the one, you know, Q as a function of. So either you use that or you use this one, it doesn't matter. Okay, okay, any question? All right, now, given that equilibrium, let's look at an example. Okay, to get a more clear picture, we look at an example. So let's look at example number 5, 1.6. Now, I want you to spend a few minutes, okay? Spend 3 minutes. Read that example. You look at that example. You determine, okay, who is the supplier, who is the buyer, or, you know, in other words, who are the consumers, who are the sellers, you know, or who are the firms, who are the consumers. So sometimes, oh yeah, did I say that? For the suppliers, sometimes we call it firms. Yeah, I wrote that. Firm, sellers, suppliers, consumers, buyers, demanders. So read that example, number 5. Okay, have you read it? All right. Now, what you want to find here is that find the market equilibrium. Okay, so find the market equilibrium for that good. So market equilibrium meaning you have to find, number 1, the demand function, and then we need to find the supply function. All right, so the information given will lead us to the demand function, supply function. Now, for the demand function, who are here? What is the good? What is the good? And what is the price? What is the good we're talking about here?
Dryers.
The good is dryers, all right? So the good, call it Q. So the quantity, Q, is the quantity of the dryers. And it is in units, okay? The unit of dryers. Now, what is the price? What is the unit of the price? So secondly, P is the price. Unit is in dollars, okay? So you have dollars per unit. Sometimes we just call it dollar because we know that price is dollar per unit, okay, or RM. So now when you want to take the demand function, who are the buyers here? Look at this example. Who are the buyers? The wholesalers. Okay, so here you will see the buyers are the wholesalers because wholesalers buy. Okay, you look at the question, you have the wholesalers, they buy. So that will be the demand function. Okay, so from there, what we are given is you are given 2 points. Is that right? You're given 2 points. So you need to find the demand function. You're given 2 points. What are the points? The points given is, and according to this, you see here, if the price 200, if the price is 200, or the people is going to buy, or the wholesalers is going to buy 50. Okay, so you have Q as a function of P. All right, so that means the points are P1, Q1. That will be equal to, if the price is 200, the quantity that they want to buy is 50. And then the second point will be, call it P2Q2. All right. That means if the price is 300, how much they are willing to buy? They're willing to buy 30. So here you'll see the price increases. What about the demand? The demand go down. Okay, you can see there already. Now, if you have P1, Q1, P2, Q2, both price goes up, quantity also goes up. That is something wrong. Okay, that is not demand function. Demand function, the price goes up, quantity go down. Or if the price go down, quantity will go up. So make sure you got that. So first, okay, first we know it's a linear function. First, what you need is, of course, what? You know the demand function is equal to what? It's equal to MP plus, you can put B or K, whatever you want, you know? So number one, what you need is the slope, okay? So to find the slope, what is the slope? Anybody give me the formula for the slope? In terms of, okay, in terms of this P and Q.
Q1 minus P1.
Yeah, delta P.
Delta P over
Delta Q.
No, delta Q over delta P.
Over delta P.
Okay, because I specify, right? You must make sure we are consistent. If we specify the function Q as a function of P, okay, here, then the slope is delta Q over delta P. Okay, all right.
Okay, sir.
But you know, it's okay. But because demand function, you can also write P as a function of Q. Okay, if you have P as a function of Q, then what you said will be right. Then the slope will be equal to what? Delta
P.
Delta P over delta Q. Okay, so make sure we are clear. So this one is also right, but this one is right if you specify P function of Q. Okay, is that right? Is that clear?
Yes,
okay. Because here I put it delta Q over delta P because I want to be consistent. If the price goes up, quantity go down. So that is, you know, to be consistent with our concept, y equal to function of x. So we use q function of p. All right. So here that will be what? That will be q2 minus q1 over p2 minus p1. So you get the slope. And you put in the values. So what do we get? We get 30 minus 50 divided by 300 minus 200. So, berapa dapat tu? Okay, if you use a calculator, they'll get negative 20 over 100. So you see here, the slope is negative. So negative 1 over 5. Okay, negative 1 over 5, that is negative 0.2 kan? 0.2. 0.2. So that is the slope. The slope is 0.2. So make sure, okay? Make sure we specify correctly. If you specify, you know, I will just follow as it is. You specify Q as a function of P, then we do that. If you specify P function of Q, then that is how the slope will look like. It's always the dependent variable divided by the independent variable. Okay? So you have the slope equal to negative 2. Therefore, now you got y equal to negative 0.2. I'm sorry, 0.2 p plus b. So now you need b. All right, need b. So what do? we substitute. Okay, substitute either at P1 Q1 or P2 Q2, it doesn't matter. So let's say I substitute P1 Q1, which is equal to 250 into the demand function. Okay, so the demand function is not y anymore. Sometimes, we always tend to use y because y is the general variable. So here you got q, all right? Substitute p into q. So we have, by substitution, I have 50 equal to negative 0.2 multiplied by the price, 200, plus b. So now you got b. So negative 0.2 multiplied by 100, kita dapat apa?
Negative 40.
Negative 40. So negative 40 here, plus b. So, therefore, b is equal to 90. Is that right? You bring the 40 to the side, to the other side, becomes positive, so 90. So our demand function will be equal to, okay, the demand function, you got the price, the quantity. The quantity is equal to Q equal to negative 0.2 P plus 90. So here you see the slope is negative. So that is our demand function. Okay, any question? Okay, now if you look at the same question or the same example, who are the sellers? Who are the firms?
Manufacturer.
The manufacturer, okay? The manufacturer are the sellers. So the supply, or you get the supply function, that comes from the manufacturers. And then again here, I have Q as a function of P that is equal to MP plus K. All right, so you need to find the slope. I need to find the constant. Okay, now for this one, I want you to do it now, okay? So M is equal to whatever, or in order to do that, you are given 2 points, okay? So given the 2 points, now I want you to find M, and then I want you to find K, okay? Do it now. From the supply, or from the information that are given, you can get 2 points on the supply function. And then find the slope, and then find the, oh lama, ini battery dah low. Okay dah. Okay, so find the slope, and then you get the supply. No, the intercept. Okay, do it now. I give you 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Now, did I give you the question on 1.6? I forgot. Did I give you that question on 1.6? Did I give you? I wanted to check. The question that I give you was question. Yeah, I give you already, right? I give you already the question. Some questions on the market equilibrium. Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, everybody got that? So again here, you know what you do? You will get the 2 points, and then you get the slope, and then you get the intercept. So given the 2 points, so you have what? You have P1, Q1. Okay,
P1, Q1.
what other points? What are the values? Manufacturer is willing to supply 20 if the price is 210. So you have 210 and 20.
And 20.
And then P2, Q2, berapa?
230.
230. And then quantity is 30. So you'll see here, price increase. Okay? The quantity also increased. So that is consistent. Okay? That's supply. So when you do this, and if you got the point for supply, you got the point, the price goes up, the quantity go down. So that is not supply. That should be demand. So probably something wrong there. And then you want to find the slope. Okay? First, you want to find slope. M, that is equal to, you put in the formula. Okay? Formula is delta Q over delta P. And then Q2 minus Q1 divided by P2 minus P1. So make sure we know the change ratio, okay? And that change ratio will come from the functional form. So what I got here will be 230. Is that 230? No, not 230.
No, sir. 30 minus
30 minus 20, yeah. 20 minus 30, no, 30 minus 20 divided by
230.
230 minus 210. So here you will get a positive number. So that will be equal to 10 divided by 20.
20.
20. So that is 0.5. You see here the slope is positive. So supply consistent. So we have what? So you have Q equal to 0.5 P plus K. So to find K, substitute 1 point. All right, substitute. What point did you substitute? Q1, P1, or no? P1, Q1 or P2, Q2?
P2, Q2, sir.
So you substitute P2, Q2, or you can substitute P1, Q1 into Q. Okay, what did you get for the Q?
The Q is 30.
30. Everybody got 30? So you do the work, okay? Do the work. Q is 30. Is that right? I'm sorry, K. K is 30. Betul ke betul?
It's 145.
145. So 30 ke 145?
If K is 145, K.
Everybody got 145?
85.
Somebody get 85. So
Negative
which one
85.
is
Negative 85.
negative apa?
85.
Negative 85. Okay, which one is the one that right? I'm not going to do it. I want you to ni. Siapa dapat negative 85? Ramai? So negative 85 ke 85?
Negative 85.
So negative 85. So you go home, check, Go home, check balik. I won't do this one, okay? I want you to go home, homework, okay? Reconfirm. So you got Q equal to 0.5 P plus, no, I'm sorry, not plus, minus 85. All right. So that is our supply function. So if you have already, okay, that supply function, I hope everybody will get that. If you don't, go home, redo it. Okay, now, my note, okay, a note here. You look at the book, okay? You look at the book in the example, same example number 6, in the example 5, I'm sorry. Example 5 in the book, they use P as a function of Q, all right? So what I want you to do, I don't want you to redo everything, okay? You don't have to redo everything. What you do, from the Q that I have, Q for the supply function, we have 0, not negative. You got 0.5, okay? You got 0.5 P minus 85. Okay? I want you to rewrite in terms of P as a function of Q. Then you will get a linear function, okay, like this. And that should be the same as the function in the book. Okay, so you do that as homework. Okay, for homework, you want, now let me finish. For the demand, all right, this is the supply. Also the demand, you write P in terms of Q. Okay, so that is homework question. Okay, what is the, what you want to say?
I wanna ask about the function, sir. Is it P equal to G function into into Q, or key function into Q?
It's Q function of P. Okay, the one that we were doing, okay, the one that we were doing is Q function of P. Okay,
Q function. Okay.
Consistently we are doing Q function of P. Okay, all right. I want to confuse you a little bit. Okay, we have to think. Okay, we have to think a little bit. We are using Q function of P. In the book, they use P function of P. Like I said, you can do it either way. Okay, but the way I do it, because I want to make consistent the economic, okay, the economic concept, because as per the economic concept, you have the price increases and then quantity will change. So functionally, it is Q function of P. Okay, but the book, they just use P function of Q. So don't worry about the book. You start with what I do here. Okay, you start as our discussion. Once you understand what I say here, then you look at the book. Okay, so you don't look at the book first, because the book is a different thing. Okay, we understand what we are discussing here. Okay, all right. So this approach is a little bit different than the book, but I think it should be okay. So the homework is, I want you to rewrite the functions, the supply and the demand, P function of Q. That is what it is in the book. Okay, so the book, they use this. So you do it, then what you will get, P as a function of Q, that function will be the same as in the book. If you don't get, next time we redo it. Okay, probably I was wrong or you were wrong. Okay, okay. Okay, any question? Okay, given you have the demand and the supply, what you want to do is you want to determine the market equilibrium. So the equilibrium, what is the condition? Condition is demand equals supply. So make sure this is the condition we know. Okay, don't just put the equations equal. What is the condition? Condition is demand equals to supply. Then only you have the equilibrium. So when the demand equal to the supply, then what do you have? You have the demand. Okay. What is the demand function just now? I forgot already. I got to flip back. The supply I got here. What is the demand? Tadi negative 0.2.
Negative 0.2.
Okay, negative 0.2 P plus.
P plus 90.
90, yeah, 90. Okay, that's the demand function equal to the supply 0.5 P minus 85. All right. So you bring the P's to this one side, the Q's, the constant to the other side. You will get 90. You could bring negative 55 over here. You got 175. Is that right? 175. equal to 0.7p. Okay, you bring the negative p becomes positive. So you'll get p equal to 175 divided by 0.7. Okay, is that right? Check. Okay, we have to make sure we got it right. If I do it wrong, you check. Tell me if it is correct. So that is equal to 250. Now that is PE. Okay. Now you want to find what? You want to find equilibrium price. No, quantity. So to find Q, okay, what do? Substitute. Substitute P equal to 250 into what? Okay, here it's either into the demand or into the supply. Either way, doesn't matter. So I want some people, like what we normally do, if your name from A to M, okay, do it into D. If your N is N to Z, put into S. We want to see whether do we get very close Q or, very diverge. If it is diverging, that means we are wrong. So I want to make sure that we should get same, okay, same value. So if you put that Q equal to 250 into the D into the S, what do you get? Okay, those people who put into D, what do you get?
40, sir.
40. Everybody got 40? Yang put into S, 40 got?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
we are
sir.
right. Okay, so we are right. So let's say, okay, I will just do into D. So what I do here, substitute into D. Okay, so what do we get will be Q equal to negative 0.2. 0.2 tadi. 250. Okay, plus apa? Plus 90. Okay, plus 90. I put it into the demand function. So plus 90. So you work this out, okay? Everybody got Q equal to apa tadi? 40.
40.
40. Everybody got it. So if you put into S, you also get same thing. So very good. So now you got that. That is QE. So after you got the solution, okay, you got the equilibrium point, just describe. So our conclusion, okay, we need to put the conclusion. So in other words, just describe that point. So here you just say the equilibrium price or the equilibrium, equilibrium price or the market price, either you use the market price or the equilibrium price is $250. And the equilibrium quantity, okay, equilibrium quantity or the market quantity is how much? Is dollars, quantity dollars. Quantity is in units, okay, is 40 units of dryers. So here, when you conclude, we have to describe it in terms of the unit, okay? So you don't stop here. Now the mistake is that people tend to stop here. After you finish up to here, that's it, okay? So that is not complete yet, all right? Of course, mathematically, that's correct. That's the solution. But you have to describe it because this is what? This is the application. So you have to describe it in terms of the units. Okay? All right, just describe the point. So to describe the point, it's what? It's the market price. And then the market quantity, just describe it or explain it in terms of the unit. Okay. Any question on that one? Okay. I hope everybody is clear on that thing. Okay.
Sir,
yes.
What is the synonym of equilibrium quantity? Is it asset or what?
Huh?
What is the synonym?
What is the name?
For the the synonym
there is no
for
synonym.
equilibrium quantity.
There is no synonym. That we just say we just say it's the equilibrium quantity. Or you have a synonym?
Is it asset or what? Under the equilibrium quantity?
No, there is no asset. It's not asset. It's just the equilibrium quantity. Equilibrium quantity is the quantity that is exchanged. Okay, the quantity that is exchanged in the market. So that is the amount. Okay, the amount that the firms sell, the quantity that the firms sell, and the quantity that the buyers buy. Okay, so that is the quantity exchange in the market. All right, it's not asset. It's what? It's dryers, because we are talking about a market of a good. Okay, it's a market of a good. It's not a market of a good. So the good here is dryer. In our example earlier, it's mineral water. It can be any market of a good. It can be market of, let's say, the property that we're looking at, where, the market of what? The market of apartments, or the market of buildings, like what we were talking about, depreciation example. Okay. So in that market, the depreciation problem, we can write it in terms of supply demand. The supply of the buildings, the demand for the building. Then you can determine the price and determine the market quantity. Okay, so supply and demand is very, very basic and very important concept, in real life, because any market, okay, you look at the market now, okay, look at the market now. Let's say the market of buildings, market of apartments. During this pandemic season, what can you say about the market of housing or the market of apartments? The demand, is the demand going up or the demand is going down?
Demand is going down.
Demand is going down. See, so we know it. Okay, so demand supply is very important and basic concept, even in real life. Right now, you can see the market is going down. The market of apartments is going down. That means the demand is down, and the price sometimes, the price is not that high. That high as many years ago, many years before the pandemic. But some market gain. Okay, some markets, the price going up. What is the market that the price go up? Anybody?
The pharmacy, sir.
Pharmacy in Malaysia. Just recently people are talking about this. Very, very basic good. What price is going up? The price of what good?
Christmas.
The price of what? Cooking oil. Palm oil, palm oil ke oil palm. The minyak sawit masak, minyak masak kelapa sawit tu. Price has gone up. Okay?
Is it?
Yes. Yeah. So when the price goes up, people are asking why the price goes up. The demand really doesn't increase that much. So what happened to the price? The price has gone up. You see? So some markets, the price are up. So you have to look at, but that is beyond our discussion, but the point is, you will see the interaction between the demand and supply will determine your market equilibrium. Okay. Anything else? Any other question? All right. So I'll give you the questions already. Okay. For the market equilibrium. So you do those questions. Practice some of the questions, and then once you understand the idea, okay, what I explained here, in other words, you can write the demand function Q as a function of P, or P as a function of Q. You can do either way. All right, you can do either way. But the point is, when you specify it as P function of Q, okay, for example, like when you say P as a function of Q, let's say supply. We do it P as a function of Q. Now, when p is a function of q, to determine the m, okay, what is the ratio of the change? What will be over, what is the variable on the top?
P on the top, sir.
P on the top. So it should be the delta P over delta Q. Okay, so that follow from our functional specification. Okay, and given 2 points, you have P2 minus P1, Q2 minus Q1. So the book used this one. All right. Like if I do what we are doing in the class, I got Q as a function of P. Same thing. Okay, so what we do, the slope is what? Not delta P over delta Q. Now it becomes what? Delta Q over delta P. Okay, so that one we already do. So this one is in the book. So, you know, you can look at that example, or you can practice a little question, a few questions on that one. Okay, all right, good. So we are done with the linear function. So that will be the end of, okay, the end of the chapter number 1. So we are moving on, okay? We are moving on to the next topic. And the next topic would be on the inequalities and the linear programming. That would be chapter number 4. So our next topic will be chapter 4. Chapter 4, number 3 is matrices. Okay, so that is on number 4. Okay, number 4 is fairly short chapter actually. We are doing only one method. That method only programming, we only do one method. So fairly short. So first, you know, what we want to do here, I want to introduce you the concept of inequalities. So you have inequalities and linear programming, okay, short form LP. So in order for us to do the linear programming problem, you have to understand, or you have to get the concept of inequality. Now, what is inequality? Inequality. What is an inequality? Okay, you have here inequality that comes from the word equal. Okay, equal. Equal, equation. Okay, now if you have in, what does it mean? Ni tambah in satu deh.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It is not equal.
Doesn't equal.
It means not equal. Okay, it's unequal, but they use unequal, not equal. So not equal. Okay, not equal. You got inequality. So when you want to discuss inequality, we start with equation. Okay, equation, inequality, because that is the base. Okay, equation is the base. So here we are looking at linear inequality. So chapter number 4 is about a linear inequality. So the general form. So we are going to use the general form. Okay, general form of a linear function or linear equation. So you remember ax plus by equal c. Okay, that was equation. Now you have inequality. They are not equal. So that is not equal. Okay, it's not equal. Now, if it is not equal, then what? If your age, okay, look at you, and you look at your friend, okay, look at the age. Let's say your age is 20 years old. Okay, now how does your age compare to your friend's age? If it's not equal, okay, your friend's age and your age not the same. Your friend is not 20 years. You are 20 years. If your friend is not the same age as you, then how do you relate to her or to him in terms of age?
Bigger or smaller?
Bigger or smaller. Okay, it's either he is younger than you or he is older than you. So it's either bigger than Okay, not in terms of size. Okay, bigger in terms of age. So it's older than. Okay, older than or younger. Okay, or younger than. In general, it's either bigger or larger than or smaller. Okay, smaller than or less than. All right. So it cannot be any other way. Okay, if it is not equal, that means it's either larger than or less than. Okay. So if it is not equal, then that equation or that inequality. So if it is not equal, then you have inequality. Okay, then you have inequality. So you have AX plus BY bigger than C, or AX plus BY less than C. So here you have larger than, okay, or bigger than. And here it is less than or smaller than. Okay, so that's it. It's either bigger than or less than, or, okay, or we may have the following. You may have AX plus BY, it's bigger than or equal to, or AX plus BY smaller than or equal to. So here you have larger than or equal to, okay? Because you put equal sign at the same time. So here it will be less than or equal to. Here is, the second situation. This is less restrictive. Okay, less restrictive because it includes the equal sign as well. Here we call it strict inequality. Okay, strict inequality because strict bigger than or strictly less than. Okay, if you have an equal sign as well, then it will be a less restrictive inequalities. So if you look at the book, okay, our discussion, we are going to use more of the second type. Okay, we include also the equal sign. So either bigger than or equal to, or smaller than, less than, or equal to. All right? Okay. Any question? So that is inequality. So what you want to do next is that you want to see how does inequality look like. Okay? So we are going to do this by graph. You sketch the graph or you draw the graph, then you identify what is the inequality. Okay, how does that inequality look like? So we are going to do this by example. So I want to do just an example, and that will be, generalized into other examples. So let us do by an example. Now, like I said earlier, you will start with equation. So given an inequality, okay, given an inequality, say AX plus BY bigger or equal to C. You want to find what is, or you want to determine the inequality. So our problem now is to determine the inequality graphically. Okay, we just look at graph method. Graphically, so what you do, number one, we start with the equation. Okay, the corresponding equation. You start with the equation corresponding to that thing, which is what? AX plus BY equal to C. All right, you start with an equation. Okay, now number two, you want bigger than, okay? So you want AX plus BY bigger than, or sometimes you want AX plus BY less than. So how do you do that? Okay, this is what we do. we take a test point. Okay, take a test point, only one point, take a test point, and that test point is a point not on the equation, okay, not on the line. That means not on the line ax plus by equal to c. That means you take a point not on the line, okay? That means outside the line lah, senang cerita. Okay, outside the line, or outside that straight line. Then you will determine whether it is bigger or less than. So number 3, you want to see whether that point, okay, that point, the value that you got, all right, then you substitute into ax plus by, okay, is it bigger than c, or is it less than c? Okay, so here you take a test point, you call it, say test point, call it x0, y0. So when you substitute, you got ax0 plus by0, and see whether what you have here is it bigger than c or less than c. And then that's how you find the inequality. So basically, that is the method. Okay, any question? So have an idea of the method. So in order to do that, we are going to use an example. Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you finished? Are you done with this method? Finish? I want you to write down the method. Okay, if you just see it, you will forget. Write it, remember. Okay, write it down. If you don't want to write everything, write the point. Okay, you read, write the point. Okay, if you just see it, we won't stay in your head. Okay, so have you finished writing or not yet? Ke semua tidur ni? Ni dah hujan.
Finish, sir.
Is it ready at your area?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Dekat Gombak ni hujan ni. Tempat lain, bagus lah. Tengah-tengah panas ni. Okay. So good to have rain, after a few days. So now let's do an example. So example, let's say I have 2x plus 5y bigger or equal to 25. Okay, I want to find this inequality. Okay, find the inequality or determine the inequality. So what we do, number 1, you get the equation. Okay, the corresponding equation will be what? 2x plus 5y equal 25. So we know the equation. Okay, so now you have to draw the equation or sketch the equation. So what you do, you get the x-intercept. That means y equal to 0. What is x? 2x equal to 25. X equal to 25 over 2. 25 over 2, berapa? 12.5. So the x-intercept is 12.50. Okay, find the y-intercept, please. Everybody find the y-intercept. Senang je tu. Berapa? You got what? 5. Okay, so it's 0, 5. Okay, so the y-intercept, you work that out. Okay, y-intercept, that means x equal to 0. I want you to find out. Okay, work it out like what I did here. So homework. Okay, finish it out. So you got 0, 5. So given these 2 points, you draw the graph. Okay, so I think a good scale will be 5. Okay, so we use scale of 5. Okay, because sometimes for this one, because I'm going to draw more inequalities, sometimes we need the negative side. So I draw it nicely on the graph paper. So for inequality, if you want to draw on a bigger graph. Okay, don't draw too small. Draw bigger. Okay, medium size lah. Jangan besar sangat pula. So draw reasonably large graph. So you got that. I got the scale 5. Then here 5, 10. Here is -5. That is here -5. Okay. So the y-intercept is 12.50. So I need another point that is 15. So 12.5 will be somewhere here. Okay. And then the y-intercept was 0.5. That's the point. Okay. So connect the 2 points. Alamak, jauh ya. Okay, salah. Buat balik. Saya dah buat balik, bukan you. So that was too far, too far off. Tapi benda ni senang nak padam, pakai tangan ni. Okay, so cantik sikit lah. Alright, so I have that line. This is 2x plus 5y equal 25. So label the line, all right? Don't forget to label the line. Now, when you label the line, put the label away off lah. Jangan put on the middle of the graph, okay? Put somewhere near the end. All right? So I extend it more to there, okay? So next, once you have the equation, you take a test point, okay? Now, test point can be any point, not on the line. All right, so now test point. Okay, give me one test point. What test point? Give me one test point.
15 and 6.
15 and?
6.
Okay, 15 and 6 will be somewhere here. Okay, that's 1 point. Okay, give me one more point. Give me one more point far away from this point. No, don't give me 15 and 10. Okay, give me some point far away from that point. There are 60 people here about, and there are millions of points here.
20 and 15.
20 and 15, very near to that thing. Give me another point.
7.
What?
-10 and 7.
-10 and 7. Okay, that's good. So -10 and 7 will be somewhere here. 7 will be there. So hopefully that we are right. Okay, it's below there. Okay, that's 1 point. Okay, give me one more point.
10, -10.
10, -10. Okay, 1 point is here. The other axis, -10. So 10, -10 is somewhere here. So we have a fair distribution of points, 1 point over there, 1 point over there, 1 point over here. That's good. Okay, one more point.
-5, sir.
Okay, -5. Okay, that's 1 point. All right. So if you look at this point, what is the point with the smallest number, smallest value lah? Smallest.
-5 and -5.
-5 and -5 is small. Okay, give me another number that is smaller than that point. Give me smaller than this one. This one is quite far away, it's big because you have 15, 7. This one, 10, -10. Give me a smaller value number point than that point. Cepat.
-20, -10.
Huh?
-20.
Smaller.
10 and 4.
10 and 4 is bigger. I want smaller than 5. Smaller means it's not in terms of the value. Okay, in terms of the absolute value. -5. Yang senang nak compute.
-21.
-21. So -21 somewhere here is smaller. That's better, because easier to compute. Give me one more value smaller than that point.
-1, -1, 1.
-1, 1, okay? -1, 1, smaller lagi. Kat situ, -1, 1 sini. Ni tadi berapa? -1, okay. 1 tu. Okay, smaller lagi.
0 and 0.
0 and 0. Okay, so the smallest value is 0 and 0. So the number, the point that I will recommend you to use as test point is 0, 0. Why? Because very small. 0, 0 is 0. Okay, so you get 0 and then you compare. All right, but in order for us to see this idea, I will begin with some number that is what you give me. All right, some bigger number. So let us start with this point. So that point was 15, berapa tadi? 15.5, that point.
6.
Okay, 15.6. So you start with 15.6. All right, just to get the idea. So we start with a 15.6. So our test point, 15.6. So test point, we choose a point, okay, x, y equal to 15.6. Now what we do, we substitute into the equation 2x plus 5y, okay, bigger than 25, because you already have the points on the line equal, all right? So now you want the point outside. So it's either bigger than or larger than. So the inequality here, you have bigger than. So what you have 2 times 15, okay, plus 5 times 6. That is equal to 30 plus 30. Is that right? 30 plus 30. Now 30 plus 30 is equal to 60. Now is 60 bigger than 25?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's bigger than 25. So you got 60 bigger than 25. So what we say is that the point 15.6 satisfy the inequality. Okay, because the point satisfy bigger than. All right, you compute, you got bigger than, that is satisfying the inequality. Okay, all right, good. So when you have this point that satisfies the inequality, then what we do here is this. Then, okay, if the test point satisfies the inequality, then all the points, okay, all the points on the same side, as the test point, which is 15.6, will also satisfy. The inequality. Okay, do you understand that? You have that point, okay? That point that we test satisfy the inequality, then all the other points on the same side as that point, as the test point, which is 15.6, will also satisfy the inequality. Do you understand what that means? That means, yes, okay, that means if you take one more point, same side as that point from the line, okay, say what? 5, 10.
Yeah, 5, 10.
20, 20, whatever here, all the points here, all up to the sky, okay, up to the sky there, will also satisfy. Therefore, our inequality will be all the points that side. Okay, so we call this the points above the line. Okay, we call it point above the line. So, or you call it up, down. So here above. These points here, we call it below. But you don't have to know above or below, okay? So we just say that all the points, the same side as the test point, will also satisfy. So therefore, that will be the inequality. So that region, okay, the one that I shade here is the inequality 5x plus 5y, 2x plus 5y, sorry, bigger or equal to 25. And it includes all the points on the line as well, because it has the equal sign. Okay? Okay, so all the point here. All right, so we need only one test point. If that test point does not satisfy, or I'm sorry, if the test point satisfy, that means all the points on the same side will also satisfy. Okay, any question on that one? Good.
How about if is it wrong, sir?
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now let's say, okay, so this one good, huh? All right. Now let's say our test point is we take 0, 0. Or you can take -5, -5. But take 0, 0 because I recommend 0, 0s now. Okay. Now if you take 0, 0, now what is the value? You substitute into the inequality. What do I get? So do it now. If you use 0, 0, berapa?
0.
0.
So you put into 0, I got 0. You see, that is the advantage of having 0. So you got equal to 0. Now 0, is it bigger than 25?
No.
No, it is not bigger than 25. Actually, it is what? Less than 25.
Yes.
Okay, it's less than 25. So what you say is that 0, 0 does not satisfy. Okay, does not satisfy the inequality. So if 0, 0 does not satisfy that inequality, then we can also say all the points, all the other points on the same side, okay, on the same side as that test point, as the test point, okay, which is 0, 0, will not satisfy. Okay, will not satisfy the inequality. So if all the points on the same side as 0, 0, our test point, do not satisfy that inequality, then what is the inequality? So here, that means 0, 0 does not satisfy, right? So the other point here, every point over here, you take all the points on the same side below the line, that will not satisfy. Okay, that do not satisfy. So if everything below the line, the same side as 0, 0 do not satisfy, then what is the right inequality? Right? Oh, cepat-cepat, bateri saya low ni. Sekejap lagi mungkin dah mati. So where is the inequality?